Friends in Christ, I'm happy to speak with you today about the ongoing journey of faith we undertake in our diocese and throughout the United States on Eucharistic revival and renewal. And in this process, I'm introducing some wonderful videos from the Archdiocese of Mobile, our province, our neighbors in Alabama, for our edification, for our ongoing formation, for our love for the Lord in the Eucharist, in the holy sacrifice of the Mass. During these days of synodality, we also appreciate the Eucharist with the theme of communion, participation, and mission. And how fitting that is for our celebration of the Eucharist, communion with the Lord, communion with one another, our participation in heartfelt prayer, and a deep sense of mission, carrying this life out into the world. I'm confident that these videos, graciously provided by Archbishop Rodi and the Archdiocese of Mobile, again will be a blessing for us. God bless you.
Hello, I'm Thomas Rodi, Archbishop of Mobile. And as we continue our Archdiocesan year of the Eucharist in the parish that lasts throughout this year until the end of the church calendar, which is the Feast of Christ the King in November, I'd just like to offer this thought. You know, so often in the Old Testament, God works in ways that are visible so that we can see what God can do. And then in the New Testament, when God works in ways that are not visible, we can believe because we have seen the power of God. We can believe in the unseen power of God. But God speaks to Moses and tells Moses, create a place where I may be worshipped, that the people may come and worship me. And in addition to certain items at the center of this place of worship, because there were table there and lampstands and libation bowls, but God commanded two things to be there. One was the Ark of the Covenant, which contained the Ten Commandments. The other thing that God commands Moses must be there, constantly in his presence, is bread. Bread must be on that table. Well, at the time of Jesus, the temple in Jerusalem was still set up, but there were outside areas. But then there was a central part of the temple. By that time, the Ark of the Covenant had disappeared. Whatever happened, we don't know. It's one of the great mysteries of the Bible. But at the time of Jesus, what was still at that central part of the temple, constantly in the presence of God, was bread. That was called the bread of the presence, or the bread of the face of God. Bread was constantly there as a symbol of God feeds us, but also we're constantly offering what God has given to us to God. Jesus is the true bread come down from heaven. And today in our places of worship, in our churches, we offer the true bread of the presence of God, the bread of the face of God, that we receive the Eucharist, which is God constantly nourishing us, constantly being with us, constantly caring for us, but we're offering that same gift back to God. The Eucharist is truly, for us, the bread of the presence of God, the bread of the face of God. Let us remember this priceless gift that God has given to us. May God bless you and your loved ones.